Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Metal Podcast.
Thank you for having me. Welcome to my room.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure to look how other people are living within Budapest and how his life is in different even districts of the city.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Right now we're in what district?
We're in the 7th district.
7th district.
Yeah. Just that way is Varshniget City Park.
Oh my gosh.
And then that way is Hero Square. So yeah, I'm in a good area for sure.
So talking about how you search for this flat or how you search for the accommodation, was it difficult or what websites?
Yeah, we used Facebook Marketplace, honestly. Or not Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups. Mainly for to find this place. I mean, websites, there's Inglatan, which has flats on there, but on Inglatan they're very expensive. And it's not for students really. It's more for people that are working here or wanting to move here. They have a lot of flats for sale. So we were just looking on Facebook on flats for rent, and they post apartments that are for students and for Erasmus and just more for young people. So that's where we were looking, and my roommate actually found this one. And she sent it to me and she was like, how's this? It has a balcony. It's pretty decently priced. So what about this one? And I was like, honestly, I'm stressed out at this point. Let's just go for it. So we decided to take it. And then we met Mila, who's from France. And everything's been good so far, yeah.
How long you searched for this accommodation?
We searched for a few months, honestly, because we were living at the dorm. And I was supposed to stay in the dorm until June. But being 24 and being I can't deal with these people, especially because everyone there is so much younger. And that's fine. It's just, I'm just in a place where I've lived in a dorm before. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't handle it. So I knew that I wanted to move out. And so we were looking from November, December, but we found this one. And honestly, you can search for months, but the problem is that they'll post flats and say it's available right now. And so we're searching whatever. We found a bunch of great places, but they said it's available right now. You need to move in right now. And we're well, we can't, because I was in the US over Christmas break and she was in Germany, and just all these things, it just wasn't going to work out. We were looking for a few months, but when this one came up, it was saying that it was going to be available February 1st. And so that was perfect because I got back from the US January 28th. And then we were okay, so we can just pack up our stuff in a few days, be out, call it good. So it worked out really well.
I just talk with other people that also search for some accommodations, and I know that it's kind of challenging.
It is very challenging, especially here when it's getting more expensive. And they know that there's a lot of tourists here, and they know there's a lot of people from other countries and countries that are very wealthy. So they definitely make it more expensive than it needs to be.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm glad that you found your place.
Yeah,
it looks really nice. And and it's in a city center, so it's really not so far from all the attractions.
And I have a pirate ship. For those watching, I have a little what would you call it?
I think it's a pirate balcony.
I have a pirate balcony, because it does look it just looks like a pirate ship, or a Hawaiian tiki bar. I'm what would you like to drink? A Mai Tai? Okay. It's pretty funny. I don't ever go up there though, because it's just, the stairs are so small. It's doesn't make sense.
Anyway, for how many months you're living here, and was it difficult for you to just say goodbye to your friends, to your family, and maybe you can tell more about that homesickness if you have it?
Yeah. So I am from the US, and so I'm 6,000 miles. Well, 5,595 miles away from my mom. So that is really hard. It is. I've been here since September, so 9 months. I got to go home for Christmas. Originally, I was going to go to Australia, but things didn't work out. It just got too expensive to go there, and it was so much cheaper for me to go home. And I was already feeling super homesick, missing my mom, just because she's my best friend. And so I was like, I really feel like it's a better idea for me to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go home for the holidays. That was great. A lot of stuff happened. One of my friends passed away. It was just a rough time. So I was really thankful that I got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then coming back here and then dealing with that and feeling so far away and then going through like all the grief and everything and trying to deal with life, it's definitely hard, especially being so far away from everything that I know,
Mm-hmm.
and in a country where I mean, it's the language is Hungarian. I don't speak Hungarian. It's a very hard language to learn,
Mm-hmm.
so it's definitely really hard. But it's been a really good experience.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that is probably the hardest is the fact that right now my mom's asleep. It's
Oh,
the
yeah, the
middle of the
time
night,
difference, yeah.
so it's they're 8 hours behind us.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to wait until like 3 or 4 p.m. here
Mm-hmm.
to call her. And so that's hard because when I'm going through the day, like what if something happens during the day?
Mm-hmm.
And I can call her up. I mean, I'll wake her up, which is very nice. But
Mm-hmm.
so it's definitely tough. But I get to go home soon, so I'm very excited to see her. And yeah, it's definitely rough. And I mean, how far away are you from home?
But it's really far away, so I completely got you. With my family, I have only 1 hour difference right now, and in
Mhm.
winter it's 2 hours difference.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, so but I still got it because, like, for example, for our classmates from China or from Kazakhstan, from in Kazakhstan they have 5 hours difference,
Ugh, that's hard.
and in China I think 6 or 5 as well.
Mhm.
So it's like also difficult to like phone their relatives, phone their friends, like to talk with them like during the daytime.
Hmm.
So it's like really hard. I was wondering how you deal with that homesickness, or maybe you have some recommendations to our listeners
Yeah,
how
yeah,
to deal with that.
for sure. I honestly, it's kind of silly, but McDonald's helps because being from the U.S., it's just such a staple. I did order McDonald's today. I did. But yeah, it's just the little things of like things that I need to remind me of home.
Uh-huh.
Going to get Mexican food, tacos,
Oh,
because I mean, while I'm from Idaho, I'm not from like anywhere crazy. But being from Idaho, we have a large population. In the U.S., we have a large population of Hispanic people. So tacos are very, very much like home for me.
oh.
It's funny. It is weird, but I love tacos. And yeah, it's just finding things that I like and remind me of home. So
Mhm.
even going to like an American grocery store or places that have like imports. Like there's a little store down the street from me
Mhm.
that has Sour Patch watermelon. And that is a candy that I used to eat growing up all the time. It was my favorite thing ever.
Mhm.
And getting like a Dr. Pepper, that reminds me of home. It's just the
Mhm.
little things that I try and remind myself. Or even like when I hear somebody speaking American English with an American accent,
Mhm.
because I mean, obviously there are British people everywhere,
Mhm.
but when I hear a British accent, I'm like, no, I don't know you. I don't know you at all. I don't speak English actually. But then when I hear an American English accent, depending on if they're annoying or not, because we
Mhm.
can be quite annoying,
Mhm.
I will maybe say, hey, like, where are you from? And if they're from Canada, cool. If they're from the US, I'm like, where?
Where are you?
They're usually from random places,
Mhm.
but when they're from somewhere that I know, it's
Mhm.
always just so nice to be like, oh, you know, like where this is, just silly things. But honestly, it's yeah, even reading books that I like and finding pieces in the book that I'm like, okay, this reminds me of home. Like this is very watching the Barbie movie. That's a very strictly. We talk about this all the time because I loved that movie. I loved like the message and everything.
Mhm.
But people from Europe were like, I don't understand. Like I didn't like it or I didn't get it. And I'm like, okay, I get it because a lot of the things in there are kind of niche American things growing up. But I think that there's parts where we can all relate 100%.
Mhm.
But I think that some parts of it are very, very niche American, like growing up as an American girl.
Mhm.
So, girl or boy, whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's just finding things that I like and that remind me of home. But it is hard. It is definitely hard. And I get to go home in 23 days. So I get to see my mom and my cat.
I'm also excited because I will see my mom and my dog, and like I think also 23 days. Because like I'm leaving, no, not 23. I'm leaving on 10th of June.
I'm leaving on the 13th of June.
Oh,
So yeah,
pretty close.
yeah, really close. Just a little bit sooner than me.
So I'm super excited.
How long does it take you to get home?
I will go to Prague, and from Prague I will take a bus, 22 hours bus, to go to Minsk, Belarus. And later on, I will take a train from Minsk to Moscow, 7 hours train. I can travel like within the plane to go to Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have to take a layover in Turkey, and then to fly 5 hours from Turkey to Moscow. Once I tried to do it in one day without like staying in a hotel.
Yeah,
I was dying. And
oh, another thing that reminds me of home is I have my baby blanket.
oh my gosh.
I've had it for 24 years. When I came home from the hospital, this was what I got.
And it's in good quality.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
great. Because I'm a little bit OCD, so I've folded it for my entire life.
Uh-huh.
So it's always been like nice and folded. So when I'm missing Kobe, I just lay like this.
Oh my god.
But back to what you were saying about going home, I was going to say it takes me a while as well, but not 27 hours, but it does take me at least 16 hours of flying.
Oh my gosh. Like direct flying.
No, so I fly from here to Frankfurt, which is about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Frankfurt to, depending on where I'm going, but Frankfurt to Denver, which is 11 hours on the plane. And then Denver to Boise, and that's another 3 hours.
Oh my gosh. But like I even don't know what is better, like to be on a plane. Okay, maybe plane, not bus.
Not bus. Yeah, honestly, I think plane is better than bus. I mean, I don't even know. None of it's good.
Yeah.
Traveling is just not. The traveling part is not fun, but
Yeah.
the getting there is fun.
Yeah.
But it's nice when you have the idea of like I'm going home.
Yeah.
So I just need
This
to get
feeling
there.
just okay. So thank you so much for these stories, and I really wish you like a wonderful trip back home.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for visiting our podcast.
Anytime. I'd love to come back. I don't know what I would talk about, but something.
We will for sure. We will.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye. From Prague, I will take a bus, 22 hours bus, to go to Minsk. And later on, I will take a train from Minsk to Moscow, 7 hours train. So 27 hours.
No. I was going to say it takes me a while as well, but not 27 hours. But it does take me at least 16 hours of flying.
Oh my.